Being located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception. But this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Tennessee Titans.
Yo, can you hear me? Yo, can you give me 5 minutes of pause time? I gotta go handle some business real quick. But it won't be long. Like, literally 5 minutes. But thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
All right, thank you, bro. I'm good.
At their own 29-yard line.
Hey, you weren't talking to me about that list, right? Yeah.
On the ready. Check, Bobcat, check, Bobcat, 60 Bobcat, 60. Get it. 60 in.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he'll work this one out to about the 38. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Options galore here, second and a few inches. And they'll try to run the option here. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. The Titans had 8 and 6 now on the year. They were winners the last time out, so they'll be looking here to make it 2 in a row.
And when you and I watched tape preparing for this, what we saw was a team that competed hard, and they played well in all 3 phases of the game. And I think if they can carry that over to this week, they've got a really good chance to emerge victorious yet again.
70 Timberwolves. Hey, smash Bronco. Ready.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Go check, go check. Go.
Here's Ward. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Tony Pollard out of the backfield, the intended target. But now it's third down. You talk about this giant defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Let's go. Hawk 70.
Now the former Sun Devil, it's Cam Scatterbroo. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. This defense for the Titans, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
To throw, Dart. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. To throw is Dart. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
And the catch made by Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Straight ahead, here's Tracy. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. You talk about this Titan defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
And it's third down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing, Dart. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
Pass intercepted. The Titans take over first and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Pollard will take it up the gut. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Dexter Lawrence that time in on the stop.
At the Giants' 24-yard
From the
line.
24 now, here's a second down and 9.
7 Pirates, 7. Get it? 55, 3. Ready.
Ward. A quick throw, but incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Evans has it left side. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll bring up fourth down. So now the Titans are going to call upon their field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 37. And his kick is good. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And pretty good field position here. He's out of bounds right at the 35.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side. Because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Dart going to give the Scatterbo. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
Taken down at the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Brings up third and 2.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run here with Scatteroo. Well, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Here's Dart. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort. But on 4th down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort picking up the first.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
And once again, it's Scatteroo. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Throwing his Dart. He'll try and do this himself. That's complete to Slayton. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29.
For the Giants field goal. A 46-yard attempt.
Gano's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with the points.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Trying to run forward with Pollard. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Titans. Tony Pollard, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Titans have taken the lead.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Giants take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up first and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
On first down, right back to Scatterbury. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
It's 3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Now they'll tuck it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Looking to throw, Dart. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. To throw now, Dart. He'll try to pick it up himself. Oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Titans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season. And add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they have their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Giants are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Titans are going to get the football here at their own 23. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Ward. Airing this one out for Evans. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there just before halftime. And even 50 yards. Throwing is Ward. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Ready, break.
This 2nd and 4.
Hey, smash Broncos. Cougar 19.
To throw, here's Ward. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Yeah, he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first, this one from 38. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
You know, we always talk about the chess match in a football game, but we're usually talking about offensive coordinator versus defensive coordinator. How about the special teams coaches? I think we just saw a big-time adjustment by one to help his team get a spark to start the second half.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Scatteroo. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Called it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. To the air, dart. And incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold it. Let's get the ball back for us.
Okay,
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
Come on, come on.
They'll start on the ground with Spears. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Go check, flexing, 18, trap 60, trap 60. Ready?
Well, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Dane Dalton on the stop. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 4.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Check, Bobcat, check, let's go now. Panthers, 18 Cardinals, 18 Cardinals. Go.
Throwing now, Ward. And a giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. They go play action with Dart. Pressure comes and down he goes. They'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up. They'll send the tight end in motion left. On 3rd down, here's Scatteroo. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Cougar 19, Cup 19, Cup 19. Big Lion, cut up.
Now Ward. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Brian Burns. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down, Ward will try and do this himself. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. On now is the Titans punter. as he's on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Jackson to return. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play. Multiple plays that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here's 3rd and 3. Dart.
That is caught. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Play fake, and here's Dart.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Titans are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game.
Ready?
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Hey, Smash Broncos! Hey!
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And this is going to be a Titans 1st down as he gets this up past the 30.
So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the 1st down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the 1st down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Okay.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 7.
Second and 7, operating from the 34.
Come on. 60 average. 60.
Option play. Here's Pollard.
And this is going to be a Titans 1st down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game.
They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10.
73.
Hand off to Spears. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
They go play action with Ward. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And now here's another interception. And the Titans will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Big Lion.
And Spears with another carry. And he'll take it down shy of 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Pollard gets it off the option. And he stopped immediately there. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Third and 5.
Panther Street, Panther Street.
Back to throw. Ward. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 28.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Titans, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Giants,
this loss really hurts their playoff chances as they drop to 7-8 with 2 games left.
and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
All right, boys. I'm turning off the stream. It was a great game for 3-1-3. This is the RSF league I'm a part of. I'll be streaming probably later. Next franchise game I play.